Thorpe Park reckon they're the UK's most thrilling theme park, but are they? To find out, I dropped into the island like no other to tackle their most thrilling roller coasters and adrenaline pumping attractions, to discover if this really is the UK's most thrilling theme park. Welcome back to Thorpe Park Resort. I'm Paul from Coaster Wave, and today we're going to be asking the question, is Thorpe Park really the UK's most thrilling theme park? They're home to some of the most extreme roller coasters in the UK, including the UK's tallest and fastest. So let's head onto the island and spend a lovely afternoon here at Thorpe Park Resort. So I'm going to begin the afternoon on Swarm Island, a dystopian hell where aliens have taken over and humans do their best just to survive being whipped off the ground. So as you can see, the attention to detail for constructing a dystopian land where the UK has been taken over, they've really gone to town here, and the crash plane is such a unique theming piece. Now the Swarm actually dives under the plane wing as it comes off of its drop. We're going to have a chat about that shortly. But yeah, this is a really cool coaster, very unique to the UK. Should we go and ride? The Swarm is a Bolliger and Mabillard wing coaster which opened in 2012. It stands at 127 feet tall and sends riders upside down 4 times, beginning with that iconic wing over drop. And with seats positioned either side of the track, your experience will differ depending on which side you sit. There are near misses throughout as you dive under the plane wing, crash through the billboard and cruise past a sinking helicopter. So an advertised 10-minute wait for the Swarm there actually turned into about half an hour as the ride closed due to a guest action, which is all very ambiguous. But that was solid. I managed to get the back row of the left side, so that meant the wing under drop instead of the wing over. It does seem to have a bit of a judder this season for sure, and those vest restraints, if like me you've got bony shoulders, they do kind of dig in a little. But otherwise, that's a really fun coaster. The drop's great, and heading under the plane wing is such an awesome experience and a really unique experience here in the UK too. Obviously being so close to Heathrow may cause some alarm to nearby flyers, but you know what, I think it's a really cool element. It adds this dystopian end of the world feel. It's very post-apocalyptic around here, and unfortunately the operations kind of mirrored that, because weirdly, despite running 2 trains, they were quite slow dispatching. Overall, it's a really fun roller coaster. It's not the most thrilling, but it's very glidey. It's got some unique inversions, and obviously sitting on the side of the track, you kind of whip over things as well quite nicely. So yeah, the Swarm's a good one. Well, with it being 27 degrees here at Thorpe Park today, there's probably no better time to ride Tidal Wave, and I am seriously tempted. However, I do have another engagement this evening, and it's probably not wise to rock up to London absolutely drenched. So as much as I really want to go and get soaked, I'm going to have to be sensible on this occasion. But yeah, proper weather for it here today, for what is probably the UK's wettest water ride. So one roller coaster I won't be riding today is Stealth. This huge Intamin launch coaster, currently closed due to have some issues with it. It's been closed for a few weeks now, and it's weird to see this plaza so empty and devoid of life. But here's the lowdown on Stealth anyway. Stealth is a hydraulic launch coaster manufactured by Intamin, which opened here at Thorpe Park in 2006. This speedster launches riders from 0 to 80 miles per hour in just 1.8 seconds, sending them to heights of 205 feet for the briefest of respites, before plummeting back to earth and into the brakes via a bunny hop. Stealth's launch is so much fun, one of the best out there, and the top hat and drop are awesome too. So I thought I'd grab a KFC for lunch from the very shark-centric KFC behind me there. Unfortunately, I've got to say that's probably the worst KFC I've ever had. The service was poor, very grumpy, the bins were overflowing. Despite it being really busy and hardly anywhere to sit, they were cordoning off seating areas, and it was just incredibly salty. Yeah, that was really poor KFC, so I wouldn't recommend eating there. Ghost Train, a dark and ominous building. Would you like some chocolate? Well, the approach to Hyperia is kind of magical, isn't it? It just sort of appears out of nowhere, and then suddenly you're faced with this humongous beast of a roller coaster. And some of the most epic theme park music you're going to hear as well. So the main line is currently on a very reasonable 35 minutes. I'm going to go check out single rider. Hopefully it'll be a little bit shorter. And there indeed are the benefits of being a single rider. Very, very short queue. I probably will take 15 to 20 minutes though, but even still, better than 35.
Hyperia opened in 2024 and was manufactured by Mack Rides, who are tasked with delivering the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Thorpe Park's Golden Goddess stands at 236 feet tall and reaches speeds of 80 miles an hour, sending riders upside down twice and subjecting them to 14.1 seconds of weightlessness during this thrilling, airtime-filled experience.
Hyperia delivers on just about every metric. The twisty drop is exceptional. The airtime throughout lifts you out of your seat over and over again. The inversions dangle you. It does everything it needs to do really well. The criticism is it is very short, and that ride in particular felt exceptionally short. I think the further back on the train you are, the shorter the ride feels. I'm not sure if there's some science behind that, but it often seems to be the case with a lot of roller coasters. So in a single rider there, I waited around 15 minutes and I got row 9, so right near the back of the train, perfect position for a great, beautiful afternoon ride on Hyperia. It's the country's best roller coaster in my opinion, but what do you think? Let me know down below. Of course, when Thorpe Park describe themselves as the UK's most thrilling theme park, it's not just the roller coasters they're talking about, but also their crazy selection of flat rides. And behind me we have Samurai spinning around. We've also got a few more we're going to go and explore shortly. So here at the front of the park they have a whole host of thrilling flat rides. There's 4 of them here, a real collection to work your way through when you're in this area of the park. My personal favourite is this screaming swing behind me, Rush, which I'm going to go and ride now. It does kind of feel as though Rush is coming to the end of its life. Only one of the swings operating there. Very, very slow loading procedure, slow to get it started, slow to get the restraints open again when it's stopped. Staff on the phone all the time. It makes me worry that maybe Rush is coming to the end of its life and we may need to see it replaced soon. Hope not, because it's in my opinion by far the best flat ride here at Thorpe Park and one of the best in the country, so I'd hate to see it go, but I think all of this collection of flat rides around the front here have been here a very long time and maybe do need a little bit of a refresh. As well as the flat rides, Thorpe Park also have a thrilling drop tower detonator. This has been here a number of years now, a very powerful drop tower. So next I'm going to face my fears on Saw the Ride. However, it's not the traps of Jigsaw that intimidate me, rather the rather uncomfortable ride experience. Well, let's go and give it a go.
Saw the Ride debuted at Thorpe Park in 2009, bringing Jigsaw's devices to life in the form of this Gerstlauer Eurofighter. The adventure begins inside the sawmill with some indoor surprises before riders are hoisted up a 100-foot vertical lift hill, leading to a beyond vertical drop beneath rotating blades. Saw sends riders upside down 3 times and has been known to give the occasional headache.
Unfortunately, Saw is one of those rides that simply is not for me. I quite enjoy the indoor section, it's quite well themed, the little drop's nice, you've got the kind of the traps, the swinging pendulums, all that sort of stuff going on, and then the slightly bizarre inversion where you go over a dead guy in a bathroom who squirts blood at you. Uplifting stuff. After that point though, it's just not a really enjoyable experience at all. The beyond vertical drop is okay, they don't do a great deal for me, and from there on it just induces such a weird, unnatural headache, which no other roller coaster does. It is something that's very exclusive to Gerstlauer Eurofighter models. Like I say, it's fine, I understand why people like this, it's quite an intimidating looking attraction, but it's not one for me, and certainly one I can take or leave. And had the queue not been 10 minutes, I probably would have walked past. So one of Thorpe's rougher coasters down, let's go do the other one, Colossus.
Colossus brought the power of 10 to Thorpe Park in 2002, courtesy of Intamin's 10 inversion coaster, which, you guessed it, sends riders upside down 10 times. Standing at 98 feet tall, Colossus features a vertical loop, a cobra roll, 2 corkscrews, a quadruple barrel roll, which is its signature feature, and a final barrel roll before the brakes.
With its 10 inversions, Colossus was certainly a big deal when it originally opened here at Thorpe Park, but it's not aged the best, and it does ride with quite a shuffle, and those trains are very cramped. The restraints are very tight around your shoulders, so it is very difficult not to get a little bit of a neck banging, but as long as you brace, it's not too bad. But I think Soar and Colossus are certainly the two of the weaker thrill coasters here. I think we should go and ride one of the better ones, don't you? So the final of the big operating coasters here at Thorpe Park today is Nemesis Inferno. That's on a 5-minute queue, so I'm going to go and check that out now. Nemesis Inferno, of course, is the sister ride to Nemesis at Alton Towers. Many of us feel as though this ride would be better received if it didn't have the Nemesis name, because it creates slightly unrealistic expectations, but there you go.
Nemesis Inferno brought the legend of Nemesis down south in 2003. Well, sort of. This Nemesis is a volcano rather than an alien, but still bears the familiar resemblance of B&M's inverted track, with riders dangling below as they drop from 96 feet and whipped upside down 4 times during this intense ride experience, which includes a vertical loop, a 0G roll and 2 interlocking corkscrews.
Nemesis Inferno lives up to the Nemesis name in the sense that it is also a B&M inverted coaster, but also that it has quite the rattle that's developed over the course of this season. It felt quite smooth when I rode it on opening day. That really rattled through the turn sections, particularly the turnaround between the 2 corkscrews. Really judded through there, and the final helix as well. So I don't know if that's just some wheels need replacing that have worn in a bit, but not the best ride I've had on it, but still a very, very good inverted roller coaster. I always enjoy getting a ride on that, but yeah, it's just not riding the best right now. So there's around 15 minutes of the day left, and there's only one place I'm heading to finish the day off, and that is Fearless Valley for one last ride on Hyperia. Fantastic as always to finish the day with a ride on Hyperia, my favourite roller coaster here in the UK, and I waxed lyrical about it enough. So if you really want my full lowdown on Hyperia, then there's a review up on the channel as well as my opening day vlogs. I've covered it so many times here because it really is a marvellous attraction, and I'm so happy Thorpe Park built it. On to the subject of the day as to whether or not Thorpe Park is indeed the thrill capital of the UK, and it's really hard to deny that claim when you look at the ride lineup they have here. You're looking at 6 top thrill coasters, at least 5 flats that fall into that category. Then you've got things like Ghost Train as well, which kind of has the scare factor. Walking Dead as well, which I didn't cover today because it had a really long queue and it's indoors, so I can't really film a lot of it for you guys. But yeah, I think this is by far the best ride lineup here in the UK. It doesn't mean it's a perfect park, and I think there's certainly points today where operations could have been improved and maybe the messaging could be a little better. The example being Stealth has been closed for about a week and no one really seems to know what the issue with it is. But I love Thorpe Park. I think it is my favourite UK theme park, and like I say, you can't really deny their claim that they are the thrill capital of the UK. But let me know what you think down below, and if you'd like to see my vlogs from Spain, which I visited recently, I went to Parque Warner Madrid and Parque de Atracciones, both really cool parks, and you can watch those now. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.